What's up, everybody? It's Super Vega here with Hard Mode Gaming, and you know, every time I see Ubisoft at the E3 press conference, it just reminds me how much I actually love and value their games. Like the whole Tom Clancy connection, Ghost Recon, Splinter Cell, The Division now, Rainbow Six. Like, I've always loved every single one of those. Assassin's Creed from the majority of the series I've loved. Prince of Persia. Um, and like every time I just draw a blank on all the great stuff that they put together, and then they pop up at the show, and I'm like, oh yeah, they make most of the games that I like. So let's just get right into this Ubisoft press conference recap because I thought that their showing was hands down the best showing so far. And I know we still have Sony and Nintendo to come up, but I mean, how do you beat let's just get into it. Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle officially announced for Nintendo Switch. That automatically ups the value of the Nintendo Switch by so much because it is now the biggest game announced so far for the Nintendo Switch. And then to top it off, they go ahead and say, we've been working on this for 3 years, so it's coming out August 29th. Like, mind blown. That is how you start off a show. And of course, I mean, like, seeing Eves and Miyamoto up there with these battle guns, that just made my night. And I don't know, man, that was just great. It was just great. Like, I don't know where you go from there. Is to Egypt is where you go from there, because they showed us a little bit more gameplay about Assassin's Creed Origins, and I feel like this is the most excitement around an Assassin's Creed game in so long. Taking a 1 year break was the smartest thing they could have done, and I'm really looking forward to playing this game. I even dove back into Assassin's Creed Syndicate because I was just like, oh yeah, I enjoyed Assassin's Creed Syndicate a lot. I just stopped playing it because I was like, oh man, Assassin's Creed is going to come out again next year. Want to not get myself too much invested in this, but I don't even know if that's the real reason. I just stopped playing for some reason, but I love Assassin's Creed, so I'm going to dive back into it and have some fun. One of my brothers is super excited about this next thing. It's The Crew 2. He has put in so much time, money, and hours into like that it blew my mind. Every time I tried to play it, I was like, I'm not really feeling it, but it is fun. But I've always been more of a Need for Speed fan. Even when it was Need for Speed up against Midnight Club, I just like really like gravitated toward Need for Speed. And The Crew was a great game, and by no standards can we say it was a bad game. But The Crew 2 is taking it a step further in a way that I'm not 100% on behind yet. But it's gonna have some boats. It's gonna have some motorcycles, which I know was in the expansion for The Crew 1. It's also gonna have airplanes. It looks nuts. It just looks nutty, and I can't wait to play this because it's gonna be super fun, I think. South Park: The Fractured But Whole. It's been announced for a while. It was supposed to come out a while ago. Got delayed. It's going through some stuff, and I'm cool with that because that's like I much prefer a good game versus a rush game. I'm wondering if you still get the free like South Park Stick of Truth with it for pre-ordering it. I don't know if that's still a thing, but it was really a big deal for me when it first got announced. I don't remember if I pre-ordered it or not. I gotta like go to GameStop and find out. But we know what South Park: The Fractured But Whole is about. So, new IP announced by Ubisoft. Now, this one was probably like the most bittersweet announcement of all time for me. They were like, yes, we hear you. We know you want a pirate game. Let's make a pirate game. But because they're so focused on games as service right now, which I'm not against in any way, but I just wish like we also got some single player experiences along that, they made it a completely multiplayer game. So it's like an active version of Battleship where you just take your ship, your team of like 5 ships, and you put it up against somebody else's team of 5 ships, and you just blow each other's ships up until there's no ships left. Which sounds really freaking fun when I say it that way, and I hadn't thought about it that way before. But I'm not really a huge multiplayer gamer, so that kind of like takes away from it a little bit. I'll definitely play it a couple times. Will I get fully invested? Not 100% sure. Now this next announcement is merely like I don't know. It's kind of laughable in my opinion. You can tell they started this when like it was a huge craze and everybody was going crazy for the Toys to Life games. It's called Starling Battle for Atlas, and it's literally like a toy game. You connect it up to your controller. You can like put your spaceship together. Looks like it's gonna be great for kids. Looks like it might be great for a couple like adults who love collectibles. People who just love collectibles will get into this. Overall, though, I think it might be just a bit too late, and that's the sad part about it. It's going to be on either side of the spectrum. It's either going to be just a bit too late and no one's really going to pick it up because of that, or it's going to be so unique and so different and cool that it's going to garner tons of attention and it's going to reignite the spark of games to life, and then things are going to get weird again. And I don't know if I'm ready for things to get weird again, you know? Elijah Wood stepped into the world of video games with the announcement of the game Transference, a VR experience or VR game that is in development at Ubisoft. I want to say VR game because when you say VR experience, it's not a full game, but I feel as if this one here is going to be a real game that dives into like psychological anatomy of like the human mind and the way we look at reality. Even if it is just an experience, I think it'll be worth playing. I'm hoping it's like a full-fledged game though, because that's what we need more. Full-fledged games, full-fledged like real games that we can play with VR. That's what we need. With that said, moving on away from VR, we have Far Cry 5. Got a little bit more gameplay. We got to learn a little bit more about those characters we saw in the initial trailer, and it looks like most of them are support characters and you play as a different type of character. That was my understanding of the trailer. I might be wrong. Let me know in the comment section below. But that's just kind of like what I got from it. And then in true Ubisoft fashion, they ended with the one more thing. And that one more thing was something that people have been asking for way too long. Beyond Good and Evil 2 has been confirmed to still be in development. I say it that way because it's been in development for so long that I can't really trust what they're saying about it. Now, I didn't play Beyond Good and Evil 1, but I do have this strong sympathy for the people who did, because they've been waiting for Beyond Good and Evil 2 for almost 10 years at this point. So the fact that all we got was a trailer that confirms that it's being worked on, it was a little bit more than like a standard trailer. It didn't just say Beyond Good and Evil 2. It was Beyond Good and Evil 2, like full-fledged trailer that showed a bunch of characters and plot and action. But it didn't give me any type of time frame, so I'm not holding my breath for it. But I'm really hoping it actually works out and actually comes out, because I think there's a lot of people out there who are looking forward to it, Ubisoft. So if you get the opportunity to, make it happen. Just saying, make it happen. Yeah. Make it happen. What I was surprised by was the lack of Tom Clancy announcements at this E3, but I'm not too upset about it. I thought we got a fair amount of cool stuff, and it's still early in the game. You know, you never know what can come next. So that was the recap on Ubisoft's E3 press conference. Again, I'm Super Vega, hanging out with Hard Mode Gamers, and leave us some comments and likes in the section below. It helps to talk to people. So hit us up. Again, thank you for hanging out. See you next time.